Fun session today. A young goalkeeper that is struggling to dive to one side, and the rationale behind it was one time she dove to that left side, got her thumb caught on the right hand, and broke her thumb. And that is the kind of something's going on. She hasn't gotten over that. She won't dive. Cool. It's right in my wheelhouse. Can't wait to see what the fix is. So we start. She doesn't know me very well, so to just go right into all this weird stuff that no one's really experienced before, there's got to be a rapport build in there. So we just started to get to know each other, started tossing a ball back and forth, working on some balance challenges, checking on some coordination stuff, just while we're talking about each other's day and what she's up to and all that kind of stuff. And we get through some warm-up stuff, and a big part of just working with someone initially is just watching to see how do they move, how do they react to things, how do they hold their posture, what changes when they move side to side. So observation skills are a very, very important part of improving anybody and anything. And often I find that what I'm looking at is not what someone else is looking at. That goes to watching it on TV too. Hey, get a text from a kid, what a goal! And then I send something back and go, yeah, did you notice that the goalkeeper was off the floor as the guy was hitting it? And they're like, how do you see that? It's like, no, that's what I looked at. You can look at it too. You're just paying attention to something else. So I'm just watching, seeing how she moves, getting her warmed up, getting her ready for some shots, starts shooting. We haven't looked at this diving either side thing yet because we're not to that point in the action, and she's not catching the ball. Like I don't do a lot of tossing from hand. I don't do a lot of volleying and stuff like that. Said principle, specific adaptation to impose demands. It just doesn't make sense for me to do that kind of work. Even with an introductory goalkeeper that doesn't know anything, I look at it as fundamentally as how can I make this as close to what they're going to see in the game environment as possible. So I'm not really one for tossing and rolling and telling the goalkeeper exactly where I'm going to go with all the shots that I'm doing. I certainly don't make it into an obstacle course like I see a lot of goalkeeper training. You're going to get a high ball over here, roll it over there, one touch, pass it over here, get over there and make a near post save. It's not the sport. Like, you've got to be able to recognize all of that all of the things that are happening out in front of you and execute the right skill at the right moment and with the right quality. That is a much different task than dive 6 times each way, one high, one low, one high, one low, and then you move on. Like, again, that was my whole career, was like train like a commando, work really, really, really hard, be the hardest working player on any team. If the team walks up and sees goalkeeper training, they should feel fortunate they don't have to go through it. That was kind of the mindset of my career. But learning neuroathletic performance, learning applied neurology, I went, whoa, it could change. And prior to that, I was a goalkeeper coach. So it was about the reps. Like, I hit half volley after half volley after half volley. Anything I could hit as hard as possible, dip and swerve and whatever. And it was about the work. It was about getting this amount of reps in. And that's how I trained them. And you'll get better. Like, any coach out there is helping an athlete. It's a matter of how long and how much. So even the worst coach out there right now working with any kid will probably shave like a year of development time off of that long-term picture from that kid. I would like to be able to get them where they want to go anywhere they are in their career. So it's not hey, all right, I need the kids that haven't played before. I get them into the right technique. I toss it to their hands and they learn how to catch and all of these things. Typically when I get those goalkeepers that have done a lot of goalkeeper training, and I know it's predictable in nature, a lot of it's tossing and rolling and volleys and stuff like that. All I have to do is put them in the goal and say, make this save. And most often, I'm like, the goalkeepers don't make saves. Like, of course, they make the ones that are very narrow within their frame. I look at elite goalkeeping as you need to be making saves that are typically goals. And that's my favorite save to make. Everyone in the place goes, "Go, my!" And the goalkeeper came out of nowhere. That is how I think about the position. So I love watching World Cup, watching goalkeepers making massive saves, and do it 6 more times. Maybe it's getting scored. They're getting scored on, or someone's getting scored on in that scenario. I love that in goalkeeping. So I don't toss from hand a lot. I don't do things predictable unless it is a hard skill that is they're just not grasping in a more randomized setting. Let's put that into the microscope. But still, I'm going to probably be hitting the ball from my foot since that's how every goal is scored, or body or head. I don't think a lot are thrown or rolled into the goal for any goalkeeper to get accustomed to. I don't know. The argument would be, well, it's a progression. No, it's set principle. If you roll a ball and they make a save, they get good at making saves from a rolled ball. I want to make sure that they have the skills required by 11v11 or 9v9. So we start working. I'm hitting her hands. She's dropping a lot. And I'm going, oh, maybe there's still rehab necessary in that broken hand. And so we did some basic motor control exercise for the hands. Pinky led waves, index led waves, pinky first, or index first, pinky last, pinky first, index last, flexion waves, extension waves, thumb waves, back and forth, circles, every joint or every finger. Looked pretty good for never doing that stuff before. She was like, I looked at it and went, she's pretty coordinated. So I'm like, maybe it's not a hand thing. That's just like, she's dropping pretty much everything I put at her. And I'm aware that she's young. She's in a different, obviously getting different pepper from the girls that she plays against. I'm aware of that. I'm not rifling soccer balls. There are little knee clips. I've seen plenty of soccer at all age groups at this point, to where I would like to be like one of the better shooters that you would see in your age group. And I have that ability to scale any which way with striking. It's just a whole lot less hop, a whole lot less leg, and just a little knee clip will do the job. So I'm hitting him at her, and I don't think I'm hitting him she's not shying away from it. She's not this is too hard, this is too fast, whatever it is. I thought I put it right in the wheelhouse, and she's dropping him. And so we went, kids today, they don't have flexible vision. Like, they live a very habitual life. There's a lot of screens involved. Screen here, screen on the TV, screen on the computer, maybe a tablet. When we were chatting, getting to know each other, I was like, what are your favorite activities to do? She rattled off a bunch of sports, and I went, awesome. What is your favorite non-sport activity to do? She went, well, I like watching my brother going through YouTube. I went, all right, well, there's some screen time. So I went, well, maybe she's like most kids. So we did pencil push-ups, which is a convergence drill. If you want to catch things that are coming within arm's length, your eyes actually have to move. And they have to move together to see things coming in. So I just put her into her catch position, put her into her set position, and she tracked a target all the way in, tracked the target all the way out. We did about 5 reps. I went, let's see if anything changed. I hit 5 more to her hands, and she caught all 5. I went, great. There's a homework drill that will help her with her handling. Then we're into, I just kept hitting her body, making sure she's warm, start putting it to her lefts and rights. Again, I'm not telling her where I'm shooting. And she's got good footwork. She's moving across. She's getting behind the ball. And nice. This is going well. Then I started testing her range. There it was. I think these should be saves. I'm not painting side nets. I'm not putting it off the post and in. I am putting it into a place that the team would be upset if their goalkeeper didn't make this save. Put simply. So she doesn't even go to ground. She's running to try and get to the ball. She's trying to get her hands down there. And what I noticed was she was very reluctant to move her head. We have a balance system. It's on board. It's inside. It's our travel through the inner ear, and there are vestibular canals. They are encased in bone. There are semicircular canals that are filled with fluid, and every time you move your head, these things are signaling, hey, head left, hey, head right. There's also translational components through the otolith organs. If you've ever heard, a crystal is loose, that's why someone has vertigo. The crystals are the otolith organs, and they are sloshing based on our translation of up and down, side to side, moving my head without the angular or the angular component or rotational component. So I went, man, she really doesn't want to move her head. Our balance system answers two questions for us as humans. Where am I? Where am I going? So think about the art of goalkeeping. Do you have to know where you are? Don't have to argue for that one. Do you need to get signals and know where you're going? Yeah. So I looked at it and went, okay, it could be a thumb thing, but the hands are doing well. Like it's not like I'm seeing, hey, do a thumb wave, and like righty is just going, I don't really want to participate. Like both hands were participating. They looked okay. Like, there plenty of room for improvement, but not alarming in any stretch of the imagination. So test your balance. So basic balance test would be like a foot in line with foot, tandem stance, get tall, eyes open, feel good, close your eyes, keep your balance for 15 seconds. That got hard. Like she's all over the place, she's kind of losing balance. Then we go to single leg, and there was a very, very big discrepancy. Like right leg, she looked great. She balanced eyes closed, 15 seconds, could barely be there on the left leg. And I went, this is interesting. So we've got a left leg balance thing going on, and she really doesn't want to move her head and change where she is, and obviously it's affecting where she's going. She wants to try and run to the ball and stay upright when she needs to dive to make that save. So we went, okay, let's just start with some basic stuff. Again, head movements, eyes training, like it's weird. I'm very aware. No one does it. So when they come to me and this is the first time they've done it, obviously I'm the idiot. Like, this guy's different than everyone else. It must not be as good. I'm on the opposite side of being an early adopter and being extremely curious. That's what got me here, was how can we make elite level players? I wanted to be one. I would watch a goalkeeper on TV and go, I think I can do that. I want the chance. I always thought, just throw me into whatever environment and I'll figure out how to perform in it. But that's what I've always been curious about. Like, wow, what separates that person from that person? How does a goalkeeper hit a ball that far? I remember sitting at a University of Portland camp. Before it started, some of the obviously college camps, you've got active college players that are helping out. So I'm sitting there next to my water. The thing hasn't started yet. The college players are hitting the ball back and forth. And I remember just sitting there going, how does he do that? And honestly, I didn't learn a lot of deliberately how to do things. The example of a goal kick for me was, we had a really good center back that could just drill the ball at an early age. He's putting it at the half at the very minimum. And then my U12, U13 season, 12 years old, 13 years old, coach comes up and says, you take your goal kicks now. I went, oh, okay. So the other goalkeeper and I just spent time kicking a ball into the net. I don't know how many hundreds of reps. And then it would get to, okay, kick him into the field. My goal kick was terrible. I couldn't get it off the ground most of the time. I'm not getting it far. I remember being so frustrated as a freshman in high school. Here I am at the summer kick-arounds, and I can't hit a ball the way that I need to hit a ball. The only way I could do it was really find a nice, awesome tuft of grass, really put that thing up, and even then it wasn't great. So I didn't learn how to strike a ball. I didn't know there was a way to learn how to strike a ball. I didn't know how to punt. I didn't really learn a way. There were just little tweaks in changes in technique. I would go to this camp and they'd say, hey, hold it in that hand. Oh, okay. I'd go to this goalkeeper coach. They'd say, hey, put it a little bit further out in front. Oh, okay. ID camp for colleges. Changed my goal kick. Hey, line up a little bit more behind it and just step a little wider. So now you're going to drive it a little bit better than kind of clip at it. And I went, okay. But there was never hey, this is how you strike a soccer ball. Hey, this is how you dive. Hey, this is the technique. This is the footwork. This is what your body should look like. This is what you should look like. This was all really pre the quality of video that we have today. Any kid can study any person. And in YouTube, you can slow motion it. So you can watch the best goalkeeper in the world, whoever you want that to be, and you can watch how they move their feet. What do their knees shape look like? What are their hips like? What is their posture when they're in their set position? Where do they hold their hands? How do they catch? Like, you can break down the whole sport now in a completely different way. So I didn't learn any of that. And going back to this session of, okay, she's got hand control. She's got definitely a balance discrepancy. We'll definitely focus on that because that's probably affecting how she's diving. So we put together, again, we're back to that. It's weird stuff. So I went, listening to music or something with headphones is not odd. It's not weird. So I use Aftershock, or I use bone conduction headphones. There would be, hey, you want to sponsor this podcast or whatever it is? Aftershocks would be awesome because I buy a lot of your headphones for the athletes that I work with, for myself. I recommend everybody buy them. They are great. So what they are they're bone conduction headphones. They sit in front of the ear hole. If you put headphones on, the sound waves are going into the ear hole. They're going through the tympanic membrane. They are rattling 3 little bones, malleus, incus, and stapes, and those light up nerves to say wavelength of this sound, and your brain processes it as, nice, I'm listening to Drake, or whatever it might be. So bone conduction skips that, goes right to the malleus, incus, and stapes. So why is that important? Why is that popular? The running population is making it insanely popular. Because if you can hear what's going on in your environment, you can run faster. We are survival based as humans. So if we satisfy survival, hearing your surrounding is a very important survival skill. Your brain unlocks more performance. Oh, we can hear if something bad is about to happen. We can hear the car screech. We can hear the dog barking and coming at us. Whatever it is. Your brain needs to be able to understand what is going on in an auditory perspective from your environment. So if you wear these Aftershocks, these headphones that go over here, you get to listen to your music, your podcast, talk on the phone, and hear your environment. Why we used them is not just because we want to just rattle these bones and make sure that she can hear. There are some frequencies that we know activate the balance nerve. So the hearing and balance share the same nerve. So we can work on hearing to affect balance. So we put the Aftershocks on. We started having it buzz. She went, yeah, it doesn't sound the same. Like, I feel it more than I hear it, number one. So she's feeling the sensation here, not so much hearing it. And I went, okay, normal. Like, these are new. These are odd to listen to music and not have it be over ear or in ear hole, but in front. So there is an adaptation period. So I went, hey, let's just test your balance. Or I let her listen to some music that she liked for a little bit just to go, like, it's cool. Like, you can hear everything and you can hear your music and no one else can hear it. You would just expect, if I can hear it without headphones on, everyone can hear it. So when I said, hey, I can't hear what you're listening to, she goes, really? I went, right. Like, it's going right to the ear bones, even though it feels like it's kind of ambient and it's around us. It's fun. And she goes, that's cool. I went, let's try this vibration, or let's try this frequency and see what we get. And there was a difference left and right. One side was stronger in hearing than the other, and we kind of took note of that and went, well, let's just keep it on both for now and let's retest your balance. Immediate change. Immediate improvement in balance. She can stand on her left foot with her eyes closed. She can stand on her right foot with her eyes closed. And I went, okay, an improvement in balance. Let's just keep these on. Let's just keep training. And we go back and I start hitting a ball and she's not going to the ground, but she's starting to move her head through space. And I went, little improvement. And I went, hey, brains hate falling. It's like one of the worst things that can happen to us is that we fall. Even worse is that we fall and hit our head. So everything that we've got is a protective mechanism to not hit our heads, to really protect ourselves from falling on our face and so on. So I went, man, if her brain has not been getting good balance signals and now essentially deciding to fall is scary and threatening on a subconscious level, let's just put her down there. So we put her into the shape of, this is where you end, this is what you look like when you dive. So then I said, hey, the only thing I want you to focus on is where you are and seeing the ball into your hands. So there's the, like, again, kind of, I don't break things down often, but if it's a brain survival thing, that's where it becomes more appropriate than, hey, everybody get on your knees and do these. Everyone sit on your butt and dive back and forth. I didn't want to go there because I don't think there's a lot of long-term value in that. So what we did was just put her into the end position. This thing is buzzing in her ears. Hitting a ball. Roll it, hit it. Roll it, hit it. She is aware of where she is, and she is just seeing the ball into her hands. And I went, okay. Now I want you to end in that position based on whatever side you see the shot going. She goes, okay. Hit one. She dives. Like, ends exactly in the position that we just worked on, and it was a good save. I went, okay, and you can see on her face, like, And then, again, we did actually do some predictable, because again, she wasn't even thinking about diving subconsciously. So I went, hey, I'm only going to hit this side. So every time, end in the position we just worked on. 5 reps later, she's diving. Like, she is diving to her right. Left was the problem, though. So I went, okay. Hit one over there. Slower. A little bit, just gave her a little bit more time. Still, yeah, she's now going. But it's not a dive that you're going to be happy with. So we did a couple reps. And I was like, what do you feel? And she's like, I don't feel like I push the same on my left side as I do my right. And I went, well, we did see a big balance difference. Let's check the coordination real quick. And sure enough, her foot tap on her left was just kind of this unrhythmic, uncoordinated tap. Her right foot was a pretty clean tap in comparison. So I went, let's work on the coordination of that side of your body. So I'm showing you with my hand, we did ankle circles, slow speed, a little bit faster speed, change directions, and we did hip circles. We'll show you at the shoulder, so that would be just a leg out in front, doing a circle where you're thinking about the hip socket, let her use something for balance, and go back, and we went to the predictable left side again, and she went like, oh, no problem, no issues going on. And I went, whoa, that's cool. How'd that feel? She goes, that felt normal. I went, great. Now let's put it back into random. So don't let me score on you. Is ultimately that exercise is fancy, and she's making saves. Like, she's going right, she's going left, she's going right, she's going left. You see her get tired. We did her pencil push-ups to make sure her eyes are still seeing the target. She's still got balance stimulation from the headphones. We do 5 ankle circles, 5 hip circles, go back to work. She's now diving and extending. I went, ooh, awesome. So that's what we worked on. That was the session. And it makes me think, like, okay, back in my career, I also struggled to dive to my left. So what I did, like, early on was just compensate for it. I would just stand a little bit off center, hoping that they would see a little bit more space to my right. Then I got to a good team. We were doing PKs, and the coach noticed. And he didn't tell me, but he told the whole team, just shoot it to that side. Smart on him. He said, we'll teach this goalkeeper through experience. I'm not going to tell him to stand in the middle. I'm not going to tell him to get ready to dive on both sides. I bet it hurts enough when all of his teammates score on that side that my message will be pretty easy. And sure enough, most of them scored. They hit it hard. They got it there. And I'm going, man, I don't want to dive that way, so I need to dive that way. And he goes, hey, why are you not in the middle of your goal? I was like, well, I don't like diving that way. He goes, you're going to have to figure that out. I went, all right. So I'm in the middle, and yeah, I extend, like it's athletic, and I don't think about it. There's a thought, and that ends up making it not a good dive, not a save. I'm a split second late. I'm just off. So that was just reps and 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 reps. And it did get better. But if you said, Joe, you got to make a World Cup save in a PK shootout. Where's that? Where are you diving? People, right. I'm diving right. So I made it functional, but not like this is awesome. But I did well enough, and it was good enough to where I could play on a high level team. I could play in college, and go figure. One of the first things I noticed to break down during my college career was that go left. So now I know I had brain deficiencies. I had a lot of head injuries. I had dental stuff. I had gut stuff, respiration stuff, hospital or antibiotic usage, some stuff that creates problems for our nervous system. So now looking back, it's oh yeah, I had a left cerebellum issue. I had a left balance center problem. I had coordination stuff with my left side as an issue. Yeah, all right, I of course I can't dive to the left. So to take that and go, hey, I figured out how to manage it over an 18-year career, to these are the things that are deficient. Let's work on them. Oh, you're diving, and you're diving better than you did prior to whatever happened where you didn't want to dive to your left. But remember, we started that session with, I don't want to dive to the right either. She tried to stay on her feet as much as she possibly could until we went and stacked some things that weren't working so well. So that is my absolute favorite part of neuroathletic performance coaching with athletes. Instead of the put in reps, I moved to a town and the guy that took care of the goalkeepers, I would get them. It's okay, you have technique. You look right catching, you look right diving, but as soon as we go to live action and your job is to keep that ball out of the net, I can put it past you at will. You don't have reaction times. You don't know the body shape of a player shooting, because that's not how you got these skills. You got them from this guy tossing them to you. That's not the body shape of a shooter. So a kid will learn how to catch, but they won't learn how to catch as a save in a game. And I think that is the biggest thing that neuroathletic performance and the applied neurology education really got me was, make them good at what they need to do. Period. If that in a game, they need to make a dive to their left on a shot from any angle, from any distance, we should probably work on shooting from different angles and different distances. Plain and simple. So getting I got one, I just kept getting referrals from goalkeepers as I was working with them, because we put them into the setting that they needed to be better at. It wasn't just goalkeeper training as a Tuesday afternoon activity. It was, this makes me better in games. So I get this college kid that's back, and he's like, hey, I need help ball striking. My goal kick is not good enough, and that's what I want to work on. I was like, great, what do you know about ball striking? You got to swing your leg. You kind of have to look like this, and he just kind of gave me a position. You got to lean back so the ball goes up. And I went, okay. How's that? He goes, like my coach or my other goalkeeper coach that you're ultimately filling in for, there's no magic pill. You just have to put in thousands of reps. And I went, let's work on your weight transfer. He goes, what? The hop part of your ball striking. He goes, oh, okay. And it's like, it's a step. I went, no, launch. You need to launch into the ball. Like, this is not a step and swing activity. Ball striking is a body activity that I didn't know at all in my own career. Dealt with hip flexor, hamstring, back stuff, because I figured out how to muscle the ball. Again, I found out a way that could keep me playing and progressing in my career. But it wasn't good. So let's work on the hop. He goes, oh. So we work on the hop. I said, let's work on the lean away. He goes, lean away? And I went, if you want to drive a ball, you've got to get your body over here so that you can flatten your foot out. And he was like, I thought you had to lean back. I went, what makes the ball go up? He goes, leaning back. I went, how about hitting low? And he goes, yeah, that makes sense. I went, yeah, if you hit low on the ball and your foot is going through it, ball's going up. Leaning back creates a stretch of the front of your chain that is now stressed and probably not working nearly as well as and powerful as if you just leaned away. He goes, all right, so we combine the hop and the lean. All right, what does your leg have to do? He goes, swing and strike and just hit through the ball. I went, it's got to create a big L on the backside. You're trying to drive that from your pocket and release your foot through the other side of the ball. And he was like, what? I went, try it. Throw your leg back in an L like it's a whip. Drive from your pocket and release through the other side of the ball. And so he's doing that. And I went, what part of your foot does it need to hit? And he goes, laces. I went, specifically. He goes, this part of my foot. And he pointed. I went, yeah, that's the big toe bone. So that would be the inside laces. That's what you want to hit things with. It's a very strong spot. So that's a different process. So we put it all together. The kid's pinging the ball all over the place. You can tell he's ecstatic because before then, no rhyme or reason, thousands and thousands of reps. No, there are movement primitives. You can learn them. You can watch. You just need to be curious. Curiosity is a driver for getting better at most anything. So if you're not a curious coach, yeah, you're probably teaching like what a coach gave you 25, 30, 40 years ago. That was my early coaching career. Just take what I liked from others and do that. I didn't become my own coach until the applied neurology education, where I went, oh, you can really deliberately help improve somebody and reverse engineer ultimately extremely high level athleticism. I love that idea. Like, that is a big reason I went through the entire curriculum twice with extras. Multiple courses 3-4 times. Like, it is awesome to think that I can help someone deliberately become elite because I know what elite looks like, and we can instill that with them from a body and neurologic perspective. So back to this goalkeeper. You go, I don't know how many reps she has done to this point, but I can imagine it's been enough to where they went, we need to find someone else. But it wasn't even a, hey, can you, like, we heard you can fix this. It was just, we need extra goalkeeper training. You were referred to us. By the way, she doesn't dive to her left. She had a thumb issue or a thumb break, and something is just keeping her from that. So just wanted you to know. And went, actually, that's in my wheelhouse. We'll take care of that. We'll find the solution. So what a different process. From me getting thousands of reps for most, or the 1,000 rep mentality, or the 10,000 rep mentality if you're what's the 10,000 hour rule? Whoever made that. If you don't spend 10,000 hours doing something, you'll never become elite at it. I look at that and go, with what focus? I can type 1,000 letters very quickly, but are they going to create a word? A sentence, an elegant, thoughtful paragraph? No, that takes quality. Like, you need to actually put a quality effort into typing that way. So the idea that I can just knock out 10,000 reps and become amazing at something, I would like to think if I can deliberately focus and put attention into the areas that I need to put focus into, I can get there in 5,000. I don't need to be 10,000 reps later. So that's the idea that we explored today, was as soon as we saw she can't do this, why am I going, I don't want to continue. I don't want her to continue getting bad reps because she's going to create more circuitry for that. She's going to kind of hardwire that neurology a little bit more. Think of the learning part of neurology like a wheat field. You've got your house right in the middle of that wheat field. You realize in that direction is food. Maybe it's a store is that way. So you start walking to the store. And slowly that wheat pats down. The more you walk that, it's just, the wheat is gone now. It's dirt. Maybe now you've got a wagon, so that trail becomes a road. Man, we take this so much. It's so dirty. Let's pave it. And that's kind of how we learn things. So to keep hitting soccer balls at her and have her run and not move her head or dive, I don't want to turn that wheat into a dirt path. I don't want to go anywhere near that. I also don't want to sit her on her butt and do diving things that way. Said principle. She's never she could absolutely make a save there. But I don't think we need to put a lot of practice into her sitting on her butt and getting a ball there. Didn't want to put her on her knees because the footwork to dive is not even close to what you have to do on your knees. I didn't want to toss them from hand. I didn't want to roll them. So what we did was, we're not going to sacrifice what you're going to see in games. We're not going to sacrifice the moment for your lack of meeting that moment. What we're going to do is find out neurologically why you aren't doing these things. You are capable. Absolutely capable. But why you are not doing these things. We found there was some balance stuff going on. There was some coordination stuff going on. And there was some vision stuff going on. Train those things. I hit a soccer ball. She's gone. That's so cool. 1 rep. We did 5 ankle circles, 5 hip circles, buzzing at her ear bones, and a vision drill for 5 reps, and now she's diving. Now we get to start going, that's what we want. Turn it into a dirt path. Turn it into a dirt road. Concrete that sucker is what we're going for now. So the focus is, now we need to get you there quickly. We're not going to waste time. We're not going to sit on our butts. We're not going to toss from hand. We're not going to go to the knees. We're not going to do these predictable things outside of, you just need to get comfortable with this for a second. Here's 5 to your right. Here's 5 to your left. Now, random. Make the save. I'm not telling you where I'm shooting. Go. So that's exciting to me. Like, I really like that. I am motivated to work with people in that capacity. I wouldn't be a goalkeeper coach if it was the obstacle course relay type of thing. Get a volley from this post. Do a one-touch pass over there. Go and collect a cross from a guy that just tossed it up. Then drop back and get a shot. That's just activities. I want to coach kids to become elite. And I have found, I think, the process to do that. It's understand what's going on with them neurologically, improve their brains, because their brains determine what kind of goalkeeper they are. Everybody's got a body. Every brain is different from every other person's brain in the world. So if we train the body, we'll help people. But if we can train their brain deliberately based on what they need, we see something that, like, I was so excited for her. And you could see it on her face. Like, I'm doing it. It's like, this is so much cooler, so much more fun. And again, I've gotten plenty of goalkeepers that everything looks right. They look right diving, they look right catching, they look right for high balls, and then I put them into the real action. Don't let this ball go in your net. And I freeze them. Score on them, score on them, score on them. They get pissed off, they get upset. And I look at it from my perspective and go, you haven't been training the sport that you play. You haven't been training the position that you play. If a guy can't strike one, he'll roll one. That's a detriment to you, not him. If they can't strike one, they'll throw one. Detriment to you. If it's just I don't know about development, I don't know about deliberately improving, it's more just we ran a session today, we did things that are similar to what they need to do in a match, it should transfer. And I was of that thought process until I learned about said principle from a neurologic perspective, where our brains get good at exactly what we do. If I say I want to be a better ball striker and I'm not doing exactly that, the likelihood that I get better at ball striking is not so much. So you go, well, how do I improve their ball striking if I'm not breaking it down? That's where the neurology comes in. Improve their neurology as people so that they can now execute as a goalkeeper. It is so fun and so exciting. I love this side of my world of taking a kid, taking a goalkeeper, taking an athlete and saying, what do you want to get good at? No, not general stuff. Think about your game. What needs to be better in your game? I'm not diving this way, or I don't feel comfortable going that way. Great. Let's see it. Oh, yep, you're right. We're training, we're doing things, and it's just not there. Let's see why. We have a ton of options. So let's just start exploring some. And we stumble upon things that need help. We train them, put them back into the live action, and they are now doing it. I think that is ultimately the future of training athletes to become elite. We're entering a world where we can reverse engineer high level athleticism. We know what they do. We can replicate it. We know what their brains have to do it at an extremely high level. We can assess the brains of the kids that we're working with assessments. Then we can train them and put it back together and see them performing at a higher level in the sport that they're playing, not a subset or something that looks similar. Really fun day. Lots of things coming.